Back in 2023, Floyd said this: "All four of my children are adults, and there will be no more handouts." It was a clean break from a philosophy he had practiced for years, a philosophy built on excess, protection, and the promise that his children would never feel the hunger he once knew. Floyd Mayweather Jr. had spent decades turning his fists into a billion-dollar brand. He had earned over $1.2 billion across his career, pocketing $300 million from the Manny Pacquiao fight and another $275 million from Conor McGregor. He had gifted his daughter a $5 million diamond ring for her 18th birthday, thrown her a $1 million Sweet 16 with Drake and Future performing, and bought her a Rolls-Royce before she could legally drive. For years, the money flowed without conditions. Then suddenly, the rules changed. He said giving cash with no expectations was hurting them. He would invest in education, he would fund businesses, but the ATM was closed. And while he mentioned all four children, Karan, Iana, Zion, and Jarrah, the spotlight immediately turned to Iana Mayweather, known to the world as Yaya. She had grown up surrounded by stacks of cash, supercars, and cameras. She had tried music under the name Money Yaya, teased independence, and built a modest influencer presence. Yet she never claimed she wanted a traditional job. Her father had openly said he fought so his kids could live as rich kids forever. So when he drew that line publicly, the internet asked the obvious question: what happens when the man called money stops giving money? By early 2026, Yaya answered in her own way. She went live on social media and confronted the critics directly. She asked why anyone would be angry that her father reached a level where his children did not have to work. She said she wanted the same for her own son. She did not apologize for privilege. She embraced it. The internet fractured instantly. Some called it generational wealth functioning exactly as designed. Others called it entitlement on full display. The backlash intensified because her past was never far behind. In 2020, at just 19, she was arrested in Houston after stabbing a woman during a confrontation involving rapper NBA YoungBoy. The case dragged on for years before she accepted a plea deal in 2022, receiving deferred adjudication probation and avoiding prison. Critics called it proof that wealth shields consequences. Supporters said she was a young woman who made a reckless mistake and paid for it, legally and publicly. In 2025, she issued a lengthy apology, expressing remorse and promising growth. Weeks later, she was back online defending her right to live comfortably off her father's empire. To outsiders, it looked contradictory. To her, it was survival and inheritance coexisting. Meanwhile, the empire itself was under fire. Floyd's 2025 announcement that he had acquired 62 Manhattan apartment buildings for $42 million was quickly challenged by reporting that questioned the structure of the deal. He responded with a $100 million defamation lawsuit. At the same time, he faced claims of unpaid rent at the Baccarat Hotel, jewelry disputes, tax liens, and a massive $340 million lawsuit against Showtime and executive Steven Espinoza, alleging hidden funds tied to major fights. He denied financial collapse with characteristic bravado, insisting that private jets and property portfolios were not the signs of bankruptcy. Former protege Gervonta Davis added fuel to the fire by accusing Floyd of attempting to sabotage his career, even linking tension back to communication involving Yaya. The narrative of control began to look fragile. Yet through lawsuits, rumors, and viral speculation, Floyd maintained one consistent message: he was building generational wealth. He was proud of his daughter. He was proud of his grandson. And despite the public declaration that handouts were over, Yaya herself continued to describe him as the financial pillar in her life, even claiming he funded her son's birthday celebration when NBA YoungBoy did not contribute. So, did a dramatic confrontation happen? Not in the explosive way clickbait titles suggest. There is no verified statement of Yaya blaming her father for financial ruin, no confirmed evidence she cut ties. What exists is a father who publicly shifted his rules, a daughter who publicly defended her lifestyle, and a digital ecosystem that filled the silence with speculation. The paradox remains powerful. A man who built his legacy on money, now fighting to defend it. A daughter who insists that inheriting comfort is not a crime. A public determined to interpret every crack as collapse. The Mayweather name once symbolized untouchable wealth. Now it represents something more complicated, legacy under pressure. So what do you think? Is generational wealth supposed to eliminate struggle for the next generation, or does it create a different kind of vulnerability? Was Floyd right to draw a line, or was Yaya right to defend the life he promised her? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you want more deep dives into stories where fame, money, and family collide, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next breakdown.